Well, this morning's project, get the blue Kenworth unstuck. Dad went to take off last night, and apparently the sand is a little soft on this sand ditch bank. And he got it stuck. So we'll pull it out. Well, we got the blue Kenworth pulled out, and Dad and George are going to run them 2 loads in. And while they're gone, I'm going to clean windows on the 2388 and the 9650. There's a few things I'm going to do to the corn head on the 9650. We've got some burr cucumber issues out here, or pickle vine, whatever you want to call it. It's just a nasty mass of vines to try to run through a combine. And the beautiful thing is this auger in this John Deere corn head does not wrap with it like it does in the case head. I'm thinking it's because it's a bigger diameter auger and it just can't get around it to wrap up. But the problem is it will get caught on the flashers on the back of the head. So I did swing them over to allow it to pass up and over, but it still gets caught on them. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to take them off. I'm actually going to cut the wires for them. The ground wire is actually on an eyelet here and grounded through the bolt, but this is the power wire. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it long, and then when I put them back on, I'm just going to put a weather pack connector in there. That way I can plug them and unplug them for situations like this. It's only in spots though, and they're not super big, but it's just a pain in the butt that it gets caught on them flashers, and then you got to get out and you got to drag the stuff out. And if you have ever had experience with it, you know what I'm talking about, how big of a pain it is. But if you haven't had experience with it, it's literally got little like needles on it that grows on the little pickles that grow on it. That's kind of why you kind of call it pickle vine, because they look like little pickles. I don't know if I have any seeds laying here. I could find one and show you. Sometimes they linger on the corn heads, but here's one. So it kind of looks like a little pickle, but that gets like a little spiky thing on it, and those poke in your clothes, they poke through your gloves. They actually, well, look there, right there. See it on my, I don't know if you can see it. There it is. It's poked in my hand right now. But imagine a bunch of those poked all over in your clothes. It's just miserable. It's absolutely miserable. So I've literally burnt clothes because of it, because you can't get it out in the washer and dryer, and it just pokes you, and it's just terrible stuff. So it's not fun to deal with. So anyways, if I can make it so I don't have to get out of the seat and the combine will eat it and I don't have to come in contact with it, I'm going to do that. Another thing is, I'm going to pop that hood off, because I've seen a lot of corn heads without it, and I kind of like to watch the ears come in the center. So I'm going to take that hood off, and it's only a couple bolts. See what it does without it. It's supposedly made to keep ears from flipping back out of the feeder house, but I'm going to see what it does without it. If it doesn't need it, I'm not going to run it, because all it does, seems to me, is like it makes leaves and stuff pile up on the front of the feeder house there, because they can't just fall back in the head. So I'll knock that off and see how it acts. So all right, I'm gonna do this stuff, clean some windshields, and we'll get to picking corn today. Got that hood off. That was no big deal. Flashers are off. We're good to go. And last night I was watching my video that I made last night of picking corn out here, and I realized in the video that you couldn't see a lot of ears of corn going in the head. The reason for that is this variety of Beck's corn seems to keep its leaves on it for a really long time. The leaves just don't fall off very easily. It's mid-November and this has still got a lot of leaves on it, which is no big deal. but it's just a lot of leaves and stuff to run through the combine. And you couldn't see ears, but look at the size of these ears. They're there. They're just hiding under all the leaves, but look at the size of that. That's a nice ear of corn. Well, we got us an empty truck, so we'll go ahead and get unloaded here. Got some pretty long lines at the elevator. So, not able to move grain very quick at this rate. The unloading augers on these John Deere combines definitely have a unique sound. And it tells you the whole time that it's unloading. Not like you can hear it or anything. I don't know why we need an alarm that tells us. Clearly hear the unloading auger running. Alright, get unloaded. We'll head out and pick some corn. Okay, I'm going to break in some more of these ends for Dad. He's been picking down here in this area of this farm. It's kind of a strange shape because of the ditch here and then the woods over there and the hills and stuff, so there's quite a few inrows. I definitely like not having that hood on there. I can see. The only thing is it going to throw corn out? Years ago, they used to have a kit that was made out of like a cattle panel, so you could see through it. You could see it throwing some ears up, and the leaves would fall through the cattle panel once. See, that's what that hood keeps from happening. Those ears flying up like that. I think it's because that auger has some steel tabs welded to it. I'm thinking there's supposed to be rubber paddles on it, but you'd think that would make it even worse. Huh. If I lift the head up a little bit, I have to put that hood back on. Darn it. Usually skip a row over from the ditch, but that ditch bank's pretty wide through most of this. I feel pretty safe. Plus I got an 8-row head, so that gets me over even more yet than what I'm used to with 6-row. Exactly how Dad planned this, but it looks like it kind of curved around, so we're just gonna go ahead and back out of here and cut back in. You know what? We might just make a circle. I've got the other ends cut out or picked out. See if I can get maneuvered around here. Decent room to work. It is muck, so I gotta be careful. I don't want to get stuck down here. I don't know what this combine's limitations are yet when it comes to soft ground. Seems alright though. Straddle rules definitely help the row off. I thought that row must have disappeared. dad planted, he must have got too far over at this end and just run one row unit off in the ditch for a little ways. But it's definitely soft. But we're starting to come back up in elevation pretty quick here. We're heading back towards the sand, so we should be okay. At least I have a blue rope with me today if we do get stuck. Yeah, I think I'm going to put that hood back on. Taking the flashers off definitely helped though when I get in the pickle bind. It slides right up and over just like I thought it would. Oh boy. Them rows went. Something must have ate them off. I do not want to slide off in that ditch. That feels a little soft right there. This old L2 number 1, I wouldn't care at all. Like, yeah, slide it right off in there. Shift it down first and drive right out. Sometimes. Alright, I'm definitely not going back the way I came. I've got half a hopper already. I feel like I'm a little too heavy to go back that way. I'm going to dump and come back. Alright, so I got those ends picked off. Came back over here where I was picking before. I have a sand ridge through here, so the corn's not the biggest. Well, last night I was out here picking corn, and I got a phone call. It was my dad, and he said, "Hey, I need your help. I had a rim break on a trailer, so I had to go do that." Well, I came back late last night, and I finished up picking for the night, but I didn't video any. So this morning I decided that before I started, I was going to put the new weather stripping around this window, because this window is the one that you look through from the cab to see inside the clean grain, or hopper, grain tank, whatever you want to call it. So there's just a weather stripping around it that seals it. Well, that weather stripping was bad, so they tried to duct tape it and everything else. As you can see, it gets dust in there really bad. And it gets the back window of the cab all nasty. We're going to pull all this crap out. We're going to redo it with some new stuff. Throw that out of the hopper. I'll take all these wires. I'm going to zip tie those together. Make one loom out of it. That way they're not obstructing your view from the cab. You can look on each side of them. Something like that. Clip them off. While I'm at it, I'm gonna clean these windows really good. Got me a plastic putty knife here. Clean all that off. There's so much dust is caked all over this combine. Stuff like this must never got cleaned up. Should have been opened up and pressure washed every fall. I get it though. Elderly guy didn't want to get up in here and mess around, which I don't blame him. When I get to be that age, I probably won't want to crawl in and out of a combine clean grain tank either. Plastic putty knives just don't last like they used to. Look at it. Peeled the edge right off of it already. I got my metal or steel in here. About busted window out with it. There's not enough flat spots to set tools in here. Alright, so we've got our new weather stripping here. This is all it is. They sell it in bulk at John Deere. You just have to measure out what you need. We're going to start at the bottom here, in the middle. It just snaps over that steel edge like so. Oh, wrong way. Yeah, need to go this way with it. Just snaps right over that steel edge. That's close enough to middle. Work it all the way around. I actually got a little more than I needed, just so I didn't come up short. You can always trim it. Oh, that's gonna be nice. Oh, just enough. If you're wondering how many feet it takes to do this, it's 8 feet. That's what and that's all I got left. So 8 feet will do it. In fact, we don't even have to cut it. Nope, just leave that just like that. That'll work great. Be nice if we had something to stick in them. That'd be all right. It'll seal up. So there you go. If you need to replace your weather stripping around your clean grain tank window, 8 feet. All right, now I'm gonna clean my windows. I cleaned this some before. It was bad. I'll let this soak up in it a little bit. My little niece gets a kick out of watching the grain come in. Madison likes to watch it too, so that's why I keep these windows clean. This combine's got the camera in the grain tank also, so you can watch it there. And it also helps with setting the combine on the fly. You start to see a bunch of nasty in the sample, you can sit there and change it. Go ahead and scrape this with a squeegee real good. most of the nastiness off. And I'll wipe it with a regular towel. These little hand squeegees are awesome for calming windows. Alright, I'll finish cleaning these windows up and then we'll get back in the field. Well, let's get picking here. I'm gonna break another field in. Gotta get across this narrow crossing in this ditch right here. This one's just wide enough for a combine. Not real wide at all. Let's see where we're at here. I'm not sure how Dad planted this exactly. Looks like he came across and unfolded and headed the other direction. It's alright, we'll find our way through it. There we go. Fly up, but they don't fly out. They get caught. I'm gonna put that hood back on. I should have brought it with me this morning. We took it out of the back of the truck so we could haul tires and rims for the trailer last night. It just didn't get thrown back in the truck, so I'll bring it with me and put it back on. Definitely got some beautiful weather for corn. Not supposed to rain till Friday. So it's Wednesday, so we've got tomorrow, Thursday. Tomorrow is Thursday. And then we're supposed to have rain Friday. It's been kind of nice to get some rain because I got some things I want to get caught up on, some maintenance stuff. Then we got Thanksgiving coming here real soon. Friday is supposed to be Tyler's last day at his job, and he's getting laid off for the winter. So that means he'll be back here helping us. So that'll be nice. Well, I had a little bit of a scare a little bit ago. So the hopper was full, so I was heading back to the truck to dump, and I came out of the low ground here, and there's a pretty decent sized hill to go up. Well, I had filled the combine until the alarm went off in the cab for full grain tank. Well, when I went up that hill, the pile was so tall on the hopper toppers that it dumped off the back. I don't always fill it until the alarm goes off. I watch it in the camera until I feel like it's full. Well, that time I decided to go till the alarm went off. Well, apparently that is a little too much for going uphill. Well, when it went over the back, it covered the engine compartment with shell corn, and there's handholds in the compartment lids that flip up. The corn went down through the handhole and filled the manifold right at the base of the turbo with shell corn. Well, by the time I got to the truck, luckily I had to get out of the combine to check some things that I wanted to check out. that shell corn was smoldering. I get out of the combine, and Dad was working on 2388. I said, Dad, I smell something on fire. He's like, now that you mention it, he's like, I smell some smoke too. Well, some friends of ours are across the road with 2 Case IH combines. First thing is, I looked over there, I didn't see any smoke coming out of their combines. Well, I'm like, it's got to be one of these two sitting here. So, at this point, I didn't realize what had happened. So I decided, well, I need to look this machine over real good to see where the smell's coming from. Because I didn't see flame or any visible smoke or anything like that. Just smelled it real strong. So I swing open the side panel, pull the ladder out, climb up the ladder, and as I'm going up, I see all this shell corn all over the place. I'm like, where did all that come from? I'm like, this is a first for this. Never done it to me before so far. Well, that's when I realized that all the corn had come over the back side of the hopper toppers, and I was like, it dawned on me where it was. It was on top of the motor. So I hurried up and I took my gloves and brushed all the corn off the covers, flipped the first cover up, and sure enough, there was corn smoldering in there. So I took my glove and I grabbed it and I slung it out the side of the combine, run back down the ladder, grabbed my leaf blower, and blew the rest of it all out. Got it all cleaned out, made sure there was nothing else smoldering up there. Of course, I didn't grab the camera because at that point I wasn't too worried about videoing it. I was just worried about having a fire, because I thought if some dust caught on fire somewhere, then we would have a disaster. But luckily, I caught it. No big deal. Had to stay calm, take care of the situation. So that's something to note on these 9650s if you have one. Make sure if your hopper's full and you go uphill, you better go back and check that you didn't get any shell corn all over the back of the engine compartment. Or if you run the hopper over really significantly, you should probably go back there and check. So, luckily, no harm, no foul, we're good. Everything's good. That would have been terrible. Had the combine for, 3 days and then end up catching it on fire. And I've been very religious with, making sure in the morning that I check it over, make sure there's no dust places it shouldn't be. Carry 2 leaf blowers in the truck, blow them all off. But you can do all that you want. But if it's a windy day and you're picking corn and you're in this corn that's like party confetti when it comes out the back of the combine, that stuff collects relatively quick on these combines. So you can have a fire at any point throughout the day. Just because you blew it off in the morning or the night before doesn't mean that it's going to stay clean until the next time you blow it off. So really, you should probably check them periodically through the day. Maybe every 2 hours. Sometimes in some conditions you should get out and check them. It kind of makes me wonder now if that wasn't what happened to Josh's combine. Because I know he was kind of picking corn in the same scenario. It was real low ground and there was a hill to get up to the truck. So it makes me wonder, he had the same style hopper toppers on it. I can't remember if the 9650 was designed similar or not. A couple kernels get down in there and catch on fire. That's enough to catch dust on fire. Definitely interesting. I wish those piles of leaves wouldn't sit like that on the head. Can't see very well going this way. Windshield's getting pretty dirty for the day. Alright, so we're going to finish this hopefully tonight here. We're having pretty good luck with the truck getting back pretty quick. Let's see where we end up tonight. Well, it's been a good day today. Definitely is nice having my window clean back there. So we're going to unload the combines, and then we're going to head home for the night and start again tomorrow. So thank you for watching. Greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you all on the next one. Have a good evening.